Sophie Cunningham, in an interview with On3 Sports, goes over the Indiana Fever, the high motion offense run and gun style that they are going to be doing, and how she found out that she was traded poolside. Okay, so first of all, I have been gone for, I think it is about a week, but there has been a lot going on with me and some like discrepancies in YouTube that I've been trying to kind of like square away, leading to me being in at the DMV 3 times in the week, 2 of them 4 hours each day. But anyway, that is all done. I'm back. We are gearing up to go about 5 times a week on the regular. So do not worry, I'm back. Man, have I missed you guys, because there has been a lot going on. The 41 nationally televised game debate, Sid Colson coming to Indiana, who I, by the way, think is kind of the bridge of the old guard and the new guard. As you know, she was on the Aces, which seems to be kind of like a favored old guard team, and now is on the Indiana Fever, the favored new guard team. And being able to have perspectives and love for both does kind of like bridge the gap a little bit, and I don't know, I'm pretty hopeful. But today, I did want to go over this interview that Sophie Cunningham did with Nick Costco from On3 Sports. There are some fun elements, and there are some things that really did start making me think when she was talking about how the elite passing level that Caitlyn Clark has and is brought to the Indiana Fever, and very different to the classic WNBA style of play, made me kind of think, like, how are teams prepared to guard her in this next season? First, let's watch a bit of the clip, and then I'm going to go over some of the examples from last season where she was double teamed and just leaving her teammates open. But, you know, on a team now stacked with elite shooters, I think that they're going to switch it up a little.
I like that you mentioned the high IQ type of basketball. Now you're more known as a shooter, but have you developed? Is there a certain part of your game that you've really honed in on and really tried to develop, maybe in terms of the basketball IQ, or maybe something off the court that's led to more on the court success?
Yeah, I think in my college careers, I only had one. In my college career, I was a high IQ player. I had the ball in my hands a lot. I was coming off pick and rolls. I was doing the motion offense. And I think when you get drafted out here to Phoenix, is a little bit more one-on-one ball. And that's no one's fault. When you have Diana Taurasi and you have Brittany Griner, that's the way they play. And so I think that I kind of got used to just being a shooter. Where, in Indiana, it's more my style of play. It's back to motion offense. It's back to run and gun. It's getting to the paint, kick and shoot. And so I still feel like I have that in my bag, and I'm excited to kind of showcase that this year.
So we all know the Caitlyn Clark from the logo bombs, 3-point, compared to Steph Curry all the time. But I don't think anyone really understood her passing ability. I think that a lot of the Iowa, like hardcore, diehard hardcore Iowa fans definitely did, but I don't think that in the WNBA this was regarded as her bread and butter. So the way that she was covered was she was double teamed, triple teamed, full court pressed so often in the WNBA, and I think that was the way that they thought that they were going to stop this like big time 3-point shooter. But she just pulled out this bag of assists from her back pocket. And now I don't think it's a secret anymore that you can't just double team and triple team Caitlyn Clark, because she is going to see what is going on around her, because she is a high IQ, like court vision player. And here's the thing. The New York Liberty is scary. They are the scariest team right now coming into next season with the signing of Marine Johannes. They have the deepest bench, absolutely hands down, in the WNBA. But what they don't have is this motion offense, run and gun, score in transition style of offense that is pretty unstoppable, because especially when you are running in transition, that is not something that you can exactly write a play and plan for, because you don't know when the interruption for the transition is going to happen. You don't know where you're going to be. You don't know who you're going to be covering at that moment, and you have to think fast. And that's the thing that Caitlyn Clark does have really well going on for her, is she can grab the ball, literally see in a split second peripherally who is open, chuck it either cross court, thread that needle, whatever she does, like it is something that you just have to be on your toes for. And this is where I think the Indiana Fever do have an advantage as far as the teams in the WNBA go. Because if we just take a look at how even the Liberty were covering her last season, they were double teaming her, leaving open their man that they were covering, and Caitlyn Clark pretty much just saw what was going on and got the ball to the open person. Let's take this example right here where Caitlyn Clark is bringing the ball down the court, and because they left Nalissa Smith open by double teaming, Nalissa got right by, Caitlyn Clark saw that, took the opportunity, gets the bucket. Or right here where it looks like Ivana Jokic is covering Caitlyn Clark. They go for the double team as Stewie goes up to block her three-point shot, opening up Temi Fagbenle, bucket. But here's a really good example of the Caitlyn Clark gravity. As they're playing these Sparks, she is running up, gets triple teamed, leaving Kelsey Mitchell wide open, who spots up, gets the bucket. And one more example is here when Dearica Hamby goes to double team Caitlyn Clark, leaving Temi Fagbenle open. Caitlyn Clark sees this, gets the bucket. Now, this happened all the time last season, but I gotta say, it was in transition, those lob passes, Caitlyn seeing an open teammate, doesn't matter how far away they are, she sees the opportunity, and honestly, that is something you really cannot really work against. A lot of experience comes into knowing how to deal with those situations where you are. You know, I am seeing a lot of real basketball fans saying that there's no chance that the Indiana Fever have against the New York Liberty, and I gotta say, I think the New York Liberty are definitely, at this point in time, their biggest competition. I think the Lynx are as well. I think that chip on their shoulder from losing that final, oh my gosh, they won a revenge finals game bad. But I gotta say, the way that the teams add up right now, it's the Liberty at the top. I do think that the Indiana Fever, with their motion offense, with their run and gun in transition, high energy style of play, they have something that a lot of the other teams do not have. And with Sophie Cunningham, Dewana Bonner, Sydney Colson. I think that the addition of all this like veteran presence, and these are people that have been to championships. These are people that have been in playoffs. It's a very, very different style of play than just playing in your regular season because everybody ups the ante. And that is where the Indiana Fever kind of lost their way last season in the playoffs against the Sun. And here's what Sophie Cunningham had to say about the new roster and what she feels about it.
You know what? I think our league is all about experience, especially when you get into the playoff runs. You can be the hottest team, but if you don't have that experience in the playoffs, you normally don't make it very far. And so I think that our management, our front office, they did a wonderful job of, having all these young bucks who are hungry for wins, who are willing to do whatever it takes to get those wins. And then you bring in, I totally forgot Sydney Colson, she has championships under her belt. You have Dewana Bonner who has championships under her belt. Aaliyah Boston who has championships in the college, which still matters, right? So you kind of know what that feels like. But I do think when you have that experience and that leadership with kind of the young bucks, I think it's just a great combination for success.
So she just reiterated the exact same thing about the veteran presence. And the New York Liberty just added Tosh Cloud, a very good facilitating point guard, very good on defense, especially for her position. Again, Maureen Johannes, I can't even tell you, she has the flashy passes. She has those one-legged three-point shots. She is a great and fun player to watch. And I'm almost positive she's going to be coming off the bench. I think it's going to depend on how everybody gels next season to really get the starting five going. Same with Phoebe. She could be a starting five player too, but she's probably going to be coming off the bench. Now, this bench is a starting five. It is a scary team. Don't be fooled, but the Indiana Fever with their motion offense and their run and gun transition, I do think that they are going to give the New York Liberty a run for their money. And this is just kind of fun, but they go into her reaction to being traded to Indiana, which apparently she was poolside when she got the call.
I was kind of actually just sitting out here by the pool and got a phone call that I got traded to Indy. And I'm not going to lie, I was stoked. I was super, super excited. I think that's one of the hottest teams in the whole world right now. And so just to kind of have all those eyes on you, not only, to elevate your game, but also off-court opportunity.
So she was stoked, which is her favorite word. It's also one of mine too, so I get it. But she does recognize the brand impact that this is going to have on her. And I know that she has always been one of the main supporters of Caitlyn Clark. And I think she also really recognized like vocalizing this support, if anything, could get her better opportunities for brand endorsements. And it just so happened that she got traded to the hottest team in the league, her words. But just to end this, I want to get back to the point about how teams are going to be defending the Indiana Fever now, because it is kind of like a conundrum. It's like if you leave Caitlyn Clark open, she can probably like take a defender very often one-on-one and run around them because, you know, she loves to sprint. But if you double team her, you know that she is going to see all of the open opportunities around. So I leave it to you guys. Like, what do you think is going to be the tactic and the strategy for other teams going up against the Indiana Fever this next season?